Hi, this is Albert Copland of Al's Blue Notes and Red Lines. Today we're going to discuss a fabulous piece of music. As a matter of fact, it's somewhat a misnomer to call it a piece of music. It's more like an act of God. It's more like one of those things that when it took place, the world was a little different than it was before it took place. It was in May 1927. May 7th, and a group of musicians, of 7 musicians, walked into a recording studio, took out their instruments, started to play. The leader, a young man from New Orleans, stepped up to the microphone, lifted his horn, and let out his first fanfare. There it was, the sound of jazz that we all grew up with, the sound of jazz as it is today, all presented in 1927 in one track. Let's take a look at this particular composition and some of the salient facts about why it sailed so high in its performance. The first thing is, it single-handedly signaled the death of collective improvisation. This was the form in which the music was played out of New Orleans, where you had a trombone, usually, a trumpet, you'd have another instrument, and they would be playing different melodic lines, but somehow they were supposed to mesh together. And the band was creating commotion based on the chord structure of the 2 people leading the ensemble. And it was a raucous noise. It was fun. It could be very exciting, but it really didn't point in a direction. It didn't have a clear narrative, if you will. Armstrong, from the beginning, brought a strong narrative sense to his playing. It was a story. It had a beginning, a middle, and an end. The organization was sensational. The virtuosity was unquestionable, and nowhere else duplicated in the realm of jazz at that time.
We interrupt this program for this public service announcement.
Albert Copland's Al's Blue Notes and Red Lines podcast reviews music and analyzes U.S. politics.
He is a retired journalist and marketing executive from Chicago who published a novel, The Music Listener, in 2023.
If you're looking for insight into U.S. politics and the history of jazz music, Al is your man. Remember to click the subscribe button on YouTube and Substack so you don't miss an episode. Now let's get back to the program.
Listen, if you will, to the stop-time passages that he executes so brilliantly. They could be played yesterday and they would sound fresh. There is also one other solo in this track, whom I feel dreadfully sorry for because it's a very good solo. Heroic might be the adjective you could provide to it. And seeing as how it comes at the end of Armstrong's solo, which couldn't be more forceful and dominant, it's amazing that the clarinetist, Johnny Dodds, had the unbelievable chutzpah to follow Armstrong and rip off a very, very strong solo on his clarinet. It was an extraordinary track, Wild Man Blues. And it had one particular aspect that celebrated Armstrong in the manner he should be celebrated at that moment. It was the rise of the soloist in jazz. With one stroke, the song established the fact that the soloist playing ahead of the ensemble was the future of jazz, and that the opportunity to display their virtuosity and their wit in leading the solos for a given track definitely came about because of a track like this, especially by Armstrong.
Yes, I ain't got nobody, baby. Baby, nobody cares for me.
The song was one of, in a week in May, was one of 3 masterpieces. But I think the charisma of Wild Man Blues is so evident, so prominent, and so engaging that it makes it by far the most dazzling, I think, and the most impressive display of the 3 about where Armstrong was with his Hot 7 in 1927. Please, when you listen to it, and I hope you do, you can stream it if you want. Please, if you listen to it, let me know what you think. I'll tell you, if you do, I'll read your response on the air. And we'll discuss it, because I'm very much interested in your opinion when it comes to music. So take care, and thanks for listening. I'll see you soon.
You were listening to Al's Blue Notes and Red Lines. If you like this episode, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment. Click the subscribe button to watch past episodes, and hit the bell icon to receive notifications whenever I post new content.